Alrighty, welcome to episode 3 of the Uncool Show. I am Dylan Wilder. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Randy Falker. Woo! Woo! How's it going, bud?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, minus two L's in a row for the pack. Doing pretty good. Christmas is almost here.
Yes, sir. And your birthday.
And my birthday.
And
my
your
birthday. The
more
big
importantly.
the big 3-0. Yep. But a little bit more of a gap between episode 2 and 3, just due to the holidays and due to life.
Yep.
But yeah, since we've last recorded, we've lost 2 games that we definitely should have won, in my opinion. Well, at least offensively. We'll get into that a little more in depth later. But a game against the Giants that came down to a field goal allowed by another poor final defensive possession, essentially. And then we should have beat Tampa Bay as well, but we didn't. And you can't go back in time. We got 2 L's, and there's still hope, but that hope has been greatly diminished mathematically. Mathematically. But in terms of the Giant game, Jordan kind of, we've talked about it privately, but now we'll talk about it here. He kind of reverted back to some struggles in terms of ball placement, in terms of keeping a tight spiral, even footwork, like you've talked about.
Yep.
But I really do believe that these last couple of games have come down to our defense and come down to defensive execution.
Yep.
And pride, really, just a little bit of pride. I mean, what's your take on the Giants game and that performance defensively, and then touch on Jordan, if you wouldn't mind?
Of course, Dylan. Right after I take a good sip of this, your Happy Dad.
This organic, clean, healthy Happy Dad.
Shout out to the Nelk Boys. This is a great seltzer. It's actually the best seltzer.
The only one if you're Randy.
And let me make it clear, we're not sponsored. I'm a big fan, and I put Dylan onto these and a lot of other friends, and yeah, they're good, and they're way better than White Claw. But anyways, yeah, to answer that, Dylan, I first want to kind of start with this, and I think, like you said, the last 2 weeks have been a very good example. Cheers, buddy. A good example of just how in life, whether you're an athlete, whether you're ourselves, whether you're a corporate, worker or whatever you do in life, sometimes you get punched in the mouth. And, it's up to us or just people in general to either stay down and let that define you, or you can, get back up and say, all right, I'm going to keep pushing forward. And you know who does that really well, Dylan? Can you guess on the Packers?
Nope.
Jordan Love.
He's been playing well.
And Jordan Love, I'll say, even in these last 2 weeks, especially the Giants game first, he didn't play great. And just like he did in week 3 with the Saints, he put our team in a position to win the game where they had the lead. And once again, they had a little time left, and Tommy Cutlets basically marched right on down and scored in whatever it was, like a minute 30, something like that.
Are you referring to Danny DeVito?
Danny DeVito, sorry.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny DeVito, all 4'8" of him, just took us out,
Which is what makes it so much worse.
Yep.
But
I like that kid.
Yeah.
I like him. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
But yeah, no, I mean, definitely a down, a less impressive game for Jordan. But again, he found a way to win, so I'll give him some credit there still. Yes, he has things to work on, but overall,
he found a way to win?
He found a way to put us in a position to win, I should say. Yeah. And that's all you can really ask him to do at that point in that situation. Now, our defense, I don't know if do you want me to get into our defense first to kind of start off, since I think that's what
that was the main part of the question.
Right.
Defensively, we have some real concerns.
Yeah, defensively, I'm just going to put it like this, Dylan, and I think I sent you a picture earlier this week. I think it was from a guy like Andy Herman, and he took a great picture of just like how our defense plays in general. It seems like we are always, especially the safeties, way like 40 yards off on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. Whenever it's like a short yardage down that the defense needs to make a play, they're so concerned about getting beat
it's really
deep
weird.
that they're just like, all right, take it. And, and not only just one person's open. It seems like 3 of the 5 targets are always open just about every play lately.
Well, I mean, like this deep into the year,
Yeah.
there's so much film on our defense,
Yeah.
and like any offensive coordinator with any intelligence is going to understand that we play really soft on 3rd and 4th.
Yep.
And that we, like you said, the amount of times this year in which you're watching people line up 10 yards off of their man, 5 yards off of the line to gain, it's nonsensical. And it's something that you would think at this point would have been addressed or, scheme-wise, but it hasn't been.
Yeah.
I maintain that we have a lot of defensive talent, but, if your scheme is allowing gaps in the field that, again, smart players and smart coaches can take advantage of, they're going to do that 10 out of 10 times. And kudos to these other professional teams for doing what they need to be doing against us, because Joe Barry needs to go. Joe Barry needs to go.
Can you say it one more time, Dylan, for the people?
He's got to go.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree. I think, like I said, even this has been a year too late, in my opinion, and for a lot of people. But I also want to bring this up, Dylan, and this was very interesting. He's a Vic Fangio descendant, like a lot of still defensive coordinators in the league. And if you really look into it, all of pretty much that's left for Vic Fangio, like coaches that come from his, style, I guess you could say.
Yeah, like
they're
his
all in
coaching
the
tree.
lowest end of the defenses right now in the league, all of them. And Joe Barry is just another example of just an outdated system. Teams are not afraid of us. I'll open right now, Dylan, like even going into this upcoming week against the Panthers, the worst team, I think everyone can agree in the NFL. I think even Bryce Young might possibly tear them up, possibly.
Well, I mean, Baker had an incredible game against us. I mean, we made
perfect, not an incredible, a perfect game technically.
And hats off to Baker. I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. I pull for him. But we made him look like a Hall of Famer, and to give him that type of confidence and allow somebody who is an average NFL quarterback to tear you apart like that. Defensively are at home. Yeah, both these games were at home, correct?
Giants was in New York.
Yeah, yep, you're correct. But I mean, there's just no excuse for that.
Yeah.
But again, Baker's making those reads and he's making the throws. He's earning all of that. Yeah, I'm not going to take that away from him, but wow. I think I need to check his final. Yeah. He 22 of 38 for 381, 4 touchdowns, and he had a perfect rating.
Even with the turnover, too, he had a perfect rating. Because he had that fumble early in the game at Tampa. Yeah. And that, by the way, Dylan, the Giants game was kind of bad, towards the end, but the defense didn't play, horrible, I guess, that game. But Tampa, I mean, Jordan played great. Again, Jordan, I think, overall just did what he needed to do against Tampa just this last week. But, again,
he got off to another, slower start and had a lot of, weird throws again where you can tell he's just not getting the foot placement down. He's not really getting the tight spiral, but he's still making the right reads, and he's playing good football. He's not why we're losing games, but
not at all.
Regardless of whether or not we make a wild card run, I'm really proud of Jordan Love. I'm really proud of how he's performed this year, and top 5 in the league in touchdowns right now.
Yep.
He has had a ton of doubt and a ton of pressure. The pressure on him from day one, being in a franchise like Green Bay, coming off of Aaron, is really impressive. And regardless of how the rest of this year goes, he's fun, dude. And he's going to continue to be fun. And once he really gets confident, it's going to be fun, man.
Where are we at right now? 25 touchdowns, 11 picks on the year, 3,300 yards, something like that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that we know, friends included and whatnot, we were saying that if Jordan even threw over 30 touchdowns at this point, that it would be a fantastic year, and he's on pace to hit that, I think, if he can do what he needs to do in these last 3 weeks. And and to me, that's very impressive because actually, can we kind of pivot? Because, at this point, Dylan, real quick, for the defense, Joe Barry needs to go. I wanted to say the defense, I think, just doesn't respect him anymore. There's a reason why I think certain players are maybe not still coming back, like a Jair. I think they're possibly.
You think he's faking an injury because he doesn't like
I
the
don't.
defensive
I don't think
coordinator?
he's faking an injury, Dylan. I think there's a lot of speculation right now that a lot of the players are not happy with Joe Barry right now, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're kind of. I don't want to say they're not fully trying, but they're just. I don't think they're as engaged as they would really want to be at this point with the way
but
the
there's a
scheme.
difference between not being bought in and faking injuries and not showing up to work.
Yeah, and again,
So
I'm not
do
gonna.
do you have any evidence of that?
No, I just am going off of my intuition, Dylan.
All right.
But again, it's
That's a big accusation. Oh, our number one defensive.
I'm not even like coming at like Ja for that either. Too, I'm just saying if I was in Ja's position, I would kind of be at this point.
You would not show up to work and
not show up to no,
and
just
fake an
he has
injury?
a back injury, man. At this point, so it's like
well,
you don't
yeah,
want to.
but like I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know?
know.
I think these are professional athletes.
Yeah.
They want to be out there. They want to be out there for their own ego. They want to
Yeah.
be out there for their brothers. I don't think they're letting some old white guy in a booth be like, "Oh, well, I'm not going to play this week until he gets fired." That's just not how professional athletes behave. And if they do behave that way, they're not in the league. They're not on
Yeah.
they're not on the roster,
Yeah,
I just get, he's probably hurt.
yeah,
And yeah, they're probably not happy, like you said, with the defensive game plan.
Yeah.
But that's not up to them, and that's kind of the nature of the beast.
just like when people are wondering why are they playing so far off. When I would hope that they realize that everything is wrong with what they're doing lately on defense, but they're being told what to do and
Yeah.
they have to do that. So,
I'm sure.
but
In a weird way, it's to pivot really quickly to the Bucks. When the Bucks made their title run, PJ Tucker confronted Coach Bud and was like, "We're not playing your defense anymore. This makes no sense." Him and Drew had been talking. It's like, "No, this is dumb. We're gonna play some actual D. We know how to play D more than you do."
Yep.
And maybe that needs to happen in Green Bay to a degree. Maybe some people need to stand up.
Definitely
Well,
does,
yeah. But again, not every franchise operates with that type of, energy and
Dog.
PJ Tucker,
Dog
PJ
energy.
Tucker's a dog. But how do you feel about some of the young receivers the last couple of weeks? I know you've been really high on a couple of them, and I want you to
Yeah.
touch on that if you wouldn't mind.
Yep. So Dontavian Wicks, I'm going to start right off the bat with him because he's probably going to be the number 1, number 2 target, I think, going into this week because he's coming off a very big last couple games. I think just under 100 yards last week, 93 yards, something like that. Great route runner, great size, great athleticism. Just a true. Honestly, Dylan, I'm gonna say this right now, and I think we'll have to clip this later because I'm gonna say this right now, Dylan. With the way Dontavian Wicks, the potential he has, and the way he plays, you know who he reminds me of?
Ooh.
Devontae Adams.
A little bit, yeah.
And if you really watch him closely when he comes out of his breaks, really watch him,
Like the footwork and
the footwork and just how he catches the ball cleanly all the time. He's going to be good, man. And I think if he stays healthy, I think he could develop into our number 1 or number 2 even, honestly. And I know that's bold, but the guy has been, I mean, you've even mentioned it. He's been our third down monster.
Yeah.
He seems to be getting, I don't know the exact stats. We should maybe look that up in the future. But, yeah, he's like the...
Like third down stats?
Yeah, like he's
Yeah.
like always the go-to. I've noticed whenever we're converting on third down, Jordan's like always hitting him, it seems like. All the time. If you go back and look, I'm pretty positive he's probably more like than anyone else on the team, I think, for third down. But the other guy, obviously, is Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed is questionable this week, as we are aware right now. Hopefully he can play. But if he doesn't, Romeo Dobbs and Dontavian Wicks, I think, are going to be the two to watch out for. Watson, as we know, is not going to play. It looks like he's doubtful. But yeah, mainly those two. And then also, shout out to Tucker Ashcraft.
Yeah.
Dude's been balling as well.
Tucker Kraft has been playing well, man. It's been
He's-
cool to see. After some injuries, he's really getting an opportunity, and he's capitalizing.
Yep.
You can tell he works really hard. His build is incredible.
Oh, he's a
you know?
tank, yeah. Yeah, he's been a very pleasant kind of expected early on, but also like kind of a surprise when Luke Musgrave's been out here, because Musgrave's been showing a lot of flashes too as our other tight end, and Tucker I think is kind of turning into that go-to, which is huge for us. So get him minutes and get him snaps. Trying to think of anyone else. I mean, I want to give a shout out also to in the Giants game 2 weeks ago, who caught our go-ahead touchdown, Malik Keith. I think Malik Keith needs to get some more targets here moving forward. The guy's got, again, good potential. Not saying he's going to be like, Dontavian Wicks or Watson or Reed level, but he could be a very solid, like 4, definitely 5 wide receiver for us when other guys are, getting so much attention. Malik Keith has the speed. We're just very fast in general, and I love all of our playmakers in general.
Our young receivers and young offensive talent, I have no
worries
issues with. I did want to touch on Keyshawn Nixon, who I feel like is
man,
he's kind of becoming like the new Kevin King, just
I hate
unable
saying that so much
to play defense. I mean, unable to stick with very basic routes. Even I think he allowed the big gain at the end of the Giants game to allow that game-winning field goal. Correct?
Yes. Yep.
I mean,
that big chunk play. Yeah. When
that's the end
of
of the game
burned
right
too. It wasn't even just like got caught, like he got burned.
And that happened a lot in the Tampa Bay game
he got cooked a lot. Oh, you could tell Baker was targeting him.
To the point exactly where Baker was targeting him.
He probably told the receiver, whoever is matched up on Keyshawn, I'm going to you, is probably what he said at times.
And why wouldn't you? I mean, Keyshawn was getting burned. He was getting abused. He's a really quick, really physically talented dude, but
he's just not
I don't know what's going on with him.
It's mental probably a little bit, but also just kick returning wise lately too, which is where he came on last year, and what I think all of us were excited for again this year is he just has not been. I don't know, man. I think he's suffering from a little bit of that sophomore, hype season a little bit, and we'll see if he can bounce back. But man, he's on a 1-year deal right now. I don't know if the Packers are so inclined to want to bring him back next year with the way he's.
I wouldn't be too keen.
Or maybe we shift him, like I said, Dylan, to offense now instead of defense, because might as well use his speed somewhere else. And I think at this point, see what you can get with him. I mean, he's still fast. You could run him on end arounds, wildcat, whatever. Just mix it up. But yeah, he has not been playing great, and I've been very frustrated with him.
Are there any other defensive players the last 2 weeks that you felt have been underwhelming? Or defensive players that you wouldn't want to keep around moving forward?
Devondre Campbell.
And I agree to an extent, but I feel like he's also being asked to do a lot that is way out of any player of his position's comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like, he's on the outside way like a ton, and that's not his game, correct? Or if it is, it doesn't look like it is.
When you look at Quay, our other linebacker, Quay is obviously the younger, faster. I'd say more cover linebacker.
Yeah.
But
lately that's been Devondre,
Yeah, Devondre's been putting a lot of, even that Tampa Bay game last week, he's been getting torched on a lot of like zone plays.
He's not quick
fast enough. Yeah. And that's why I'm thinking, Dylan, like we might have to cut our losses with him possibly soon, because he's just not. I think he fell off really hard here because of injuries too.
But do you think that it's really that he fell off, or that he's being asked to cover players that
it could be scheme? I guess. Yeah, we'd have to see. I don't know, but yeah, the scheme is definitely not helping him. But I guess, yeah, I mean, to answer your question, that is one though that I am kind of waiting and seeing, because I'm not loving it. But the other guy too, and I want to point out is I've just been kind of disappointed with a little bit lately is what's his name? Rudy Ford at safety a little bit. Not saying he's been playing, bad, but he doesn't seem to make an impact like a safety should at times, Like he's not he's not making plays the way that we need someone that can either in the run game or I've been a little disappointed in his play too.
Is anybody on our defense really impressive though?
Rashawn Gary.
I mean, of course, Rashawn and Kenny.
Yeah, but those two jump to mind. But yeah, no one else really, to be honest. I mean,
those two would be impressive on any team in any system.
And that's what's been keeping this defense, honestly, giving it a chance a little bit. To be quite honest with you, I think you take those two away, we're even worse of a defense by far. And
They haven't been getting much pressure lately,
no,
though, on quarterbacks.
No.
On mediocre quarterbacks, too.
Yeah.
You know, and those are the type of, going against Danny DeVito, you should be going at Danny, And I'm never calling him
he was like the
by
most
his
sacked
real name.
quarterback.
I'm never calling him by his real name.
That's
When
I
you're
hope we
playing
meet him one day.
when you're playing Danny, you got to go at him. You got to go at Danny DeVito.
yeah.
And shout out to their offensive line too. Everybody's playing hard, but like, I don't know, man. Even when Jair's been out there, he's been
Mid.
wildly mediocre this year.
Yeah.
Defensively, I don't know. I think a few weeks ago I was very much on a page of like, oh, no, the personnel will be fine, but
Yeah.
I'm slowly starting to understand that like maybe not. Maybe we need to rebuild a lot of our defense moving forward, but I don't know how you really go about that the way we handle free agency as a franchise. You're not going to draft a brand new defense and have them be effective as a rookie defense,
Yeah, I mean, I think it boils down to is just this defense has talent overall, but you're never going to be successful when the coach is literally telling you to play 40 yards off or basically out in Tijuana or whatever country you want to say that's way far away from here when it's 3rd and 4 again.
No, I like Tijuana. It's a good
Tijuana,
name. Tijuana, Mexico.
Yeah. It's just, it's very disappointing. I think, again, going into this year, I've had concerns. I know you had concerns with Joe Barry. And, yeah, honestly, Dylan, I think this is best case scenario. I'm going to just say this right now. This is best case scenario, okay? And I think a lot of people would agree with me on this. We need the defense basically to get shredded by Bryce Young, just embarrassed, in my opinion, so that it's so bad that Joe Barry has to get fired after this next game. But we still win the game because Jordan Love just balls out, lets it rip. I'm saying he throws for 400 this week.
Lord. Yeah, you
400 this week, Dylan.
You actually did it, man.
I'm actually saying it.
All right.
400 this week, okay? And
400.
I feel it. I feel he's going to really
You feel it. Okay.
I feel it, just
All
like the
right.
Chiefs game.
All
I
right.
feel it.
All right, man.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah,
but,
man. But you're feeling it.
I'm feeling it this time.
All right.
And I think, with the players that we have at offense, we have Aaron Jones back now, too. It seems like he's going to be ready to go again, which is going to help our offense tremendously. I think Jordan's going to play a lot more confident again still because, like we touched on earlier in the last couple episodes, the dude's just poised. He's Mr. Cool. Even when he, again, gets punched in the mouth certain weeks, he comes back firing, and he doesn't let it get to him, and he's a great teammate. And I just think he's not going to let this season just end the way that it's been going now the last couple of weeks. I think he's got something to say. And
Well, I agree with that. I'm sure Jordan will continue to improve and get better, but one player can't win games when your defense is inept.
They can, but it's going to be really hard. So we'll
it's
see.
very difficult to do, and
Yeah.
I think expecting that out of him is a lot.
We'll see, though, Dylan.
When you've got Keyshawn Nixon getting burned by
I know.
every wide receiver in the league for
Like
like
Bryce
50,
Young.
50
You know?
yards every play,
Yeah.
Jordan Love would have to just be perfect. And I would hope and imagine that Joe Barry knows he's coaching for his job.
I think it's very obvious
like,
at this point.
I don't wish this on anybody, but
No, I
I
don't
hope
either.
he's anxiously and frighteningly preparing for this game. This should be the game of his life to try to right some wrongs, and if he does, kudos. But I agree. I do think we need to move on no matter what. Sometimes you. How long has he been here now? Actually,
This is his 3rd year, I want to say.
wow,
Yeah.
felt longer.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
felt longer.
felt longer. Like he's already gone.
Yeah.
It feels longer.
I
I'll
can
speak that
feel
into
it
existence. Yeah, he's gone.
coming in the air.
Fire Joe. Yeah, man. I don't know.
Lord.
Yeah, please, please. Looking forward to the game on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Yes, I know you would like Bryce Young to tear us apart. I don't know. Sure. What's their record? You said they're the worst team in the league.
One win, I think.
They still only have one.
I think one
Oh
win.
wow.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought they got 2 or 3.
Nope.
Wow, good for them.
I
Good
should
for
double check
good for
that,
them.
though.
Dude. No, they probably
I'm gonna
you
check
know more
that
than I
right
do.
now.
But man, that's tough.
Sorry, 2 wins, 2-12.
Okay, they got 2. Good
Yeah,
for
they
them.
got 2. Yeah,
God bless.
yeah.
That's cool.
And I know I mentioned this to you, Dylan, but worst case, if we lose to the Panthers, I don't want to, again, touch on the Bears too much at all. And in fact, we're not. I'm just going to say, but it doesn't help the Bears at all, actually.
And we like that.
So, you know,
You can give them all the help in the
Chicago
world.
Friends are pulling for the Packers to win this week, actually. So
You can give them all the help in the world. They need it. You can give them all the picks.
Yeah. But but I wanted to mention this quick too, Dylan, because I think at this point it's obvious defense either needs to play better or Joe Barry's going to lose his job. I think everyone can see it at this point now. But back to the offense real quick is I think Jordan, the one thing that we also mentioned besides his footwork is his deep ball. I think everyone is clearly saying there's room for improvement there. But I wanted to read you a couple quick statistics, and if anyone wants to challenge me in the comments or anyone, feel free because
I didn't write these. Some other professional did.
I just looked them up. But basically, since week 9, since Halloween, Jordan Love as a deep thrower has been the second highest rated on passes over 20+ yards by Pro Football Focus, third in passing grade on those throws at a 94.3, and the second lowest turnover percentage out of all quarterbacks since week 9.
Yeah, he's been great lately.
So, I mean, I think, numbers definitely do tell a story. I mean, numbers don't lie, as Dylan says. But I just think at this point he's going to continue to flourish here the rest of this year. He doesn't have a ton of super tough defenses in theory, but I think this is going to be very imperative that he closes out the season strong, which I think he will. Maybe even get a playoff chance still. And if we can get him a playoff game, Dylan, I mean, where we just, all bets are off and just play loose, let's go for it,
Yeah.
Let's send it, because at this point, everything's gravy from here on out for us as Packers fans.
Yeah, but we also said that 2 weeks ago too.
We did, but I mean,
we
here we are.
thought Danny DeVito and Baker were going fishing, and here they are.
We need some adversity, Dylan, and this is fine, And I'll fully admit we got beat the last 2 weeks. We got embarrassed, actually. I'll say a little bit, but we're not done and we're not out mathematically, especially. So So at this point, I'm looking forward to it. I know a lot of people are, and I don't have anything else to say on Jordan Love. Do you have anything else? Just overall thoughts? Also. I don't know if all of you noticed, since a lot of people are visual people, we've come to find 6 sweatshirt there, man.
Oh, yeah, thrift store find, man.
Yes, sir. That's clean right there.
Championship.
The drip.
Doing it to him. Had to be done. But, well, yeah, thank you for pointing that out. That's always, I'm dripping. But
Drip.
I do want to touch on Matt LaFleur. I feel like his play calling has been continuing to get better.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's trying to fall on the sword for Joe Barry, which is very noble, and it's what a good leader should do.
Yeah.
I think the human, at least for me, the human reaction would be like, "Yep, well, the defense really let us down again today. We're gonna have to work on that." But credit to Matt for being a strong man and a strong leader, and not throwing people under the bus, not being a child about it. I guarantee if there's anybody who is frustrated about the defense, it's the head coach. And I'm sure Joe is super frustrated too. He's probably just really stuck in his ways and is unable to adapt to a more modern approach. But I think Coach LaFleur is still doing a great job. He still has a fresh fade all the time.
Fresh fade.
Those jackets are cleaner and cleaner every week. But seriously, I do think the play calling has been great.
Yeah.
There was like that weird run of way too many, little fake handoffs and misdirections to, who was it, Jaden?
Jaden and whoever else.
I think it was a lot of them to Jaden.
Like, dude, Jaden, honestly.
It's like 5 in the second half of that game, and like,
it's
dude,
kind of like,
come on.
Wait, there's more.
No, we're gonna try that again.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we've tried that 4 times actually.
4 times now. I think they see that coming.
That was crazy. But okay, other than that, I feel like Coach has been doing a better job with the play calling. I feel like he's been allowing Jordan to do a little more, try a little more, and it's been working out.
Yep.
There are still balls where they leave his hand, I tighten up, oh,
Yeah.
and then they, and they make it through, but
yeah.
you still that one bead of sweat, he still has a little ways to go in decision making, but he's doing great.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of anything else to touch on with the Pack, I'm looking forward to Christmas Eve, man. I'm looking forward to watching a game at home with the fam and just
Yes, sir.
not hopefully not losing 3 in a row. That would be a big damper on the holiday, big damper on my birthday, But I think
we'll be okay.
I think we'll be okay. But again, we said that 2 weeks ago, and we're saying it again.
Sometimes we're wrong.
Often. Many times.
That's that humility right there.
Yeah.
Humility.
Yeah. But no, I mean, in a weird way, it's kind of a fun place to be in, 6 and 8.
Yeah.
Either way, no matter, there's like no expectation.
I'm not
It's
tripping
just
anymore.
like, whatever.
I'm not tripping, man.
You know what? We'll have fun. And hopefully the guys are ready to play a little loose and have some fun with it. And I don't know. We'll see what happens, dude.
And I'll just say too, I think at this point, all bets are off. I think we can see it go any direction at this point, and that's what makes it exciting because, at this point, Jordan Love could just ball the heck out like I think he will. Maybe get a playoff game or two. But, yeah, man, I wouldn't stress. I think they'll get a win for you before your birthday.
Hey.
And I just want to give, again, a huge shout-out to my boy Dylan. It's very fitting that a person like him, by the way, has a birthday on Christmas because not trying to compare him in any way to certain people, but I'm just basically shouting
But that's exactly what he's doing.
No, but I'm basically shouting out
it.
that he has, for most people that do know him, that are watching, he's an incredible person, very talented, very gifted, definitely set the vision like I mentioned in the past, and I couldn't do this without him, and that's what, just right now what we just did again here, Dylan. I know, dude, we're going to have plenty of future episodes and things together where I think we're really going to build something great, man, and I think we're going to stay true to ourselves and do things the uncool way.
Yes, sir.
So, again, I appreciate you, buddy, and I know a lot of people around you do too.
Oh, man, I love you. I appreciate that, bud.
So
you're the best. Everybody, whoever meets you, loves you. You're everybody's favorite. Heart of gold.
Same with you, man. I think that's why, it's going to be fun. And we definitely, again, we were mentioning it, we're going to have other people on for sure. We're just, we're just figuring it out right now.
Yeah, and if you want to be on, you can call in. We have the ability to connect our cell phones, and you can call in like a radio show, and we can talk to you about whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, the more people, the merrier,
Yep.
But we really appreciate all the love and support so far. We know that it's amateur, but we're having fun with it, and we really do appreciate all the attention and all the support and all the feedback and all of the love.
Yep.
But we wish you all a Merry Christmas. God bless, and we will get another episode out a couple days after Christmas when everything settles down a little bit. But yeah, everybody have a safe holiday season, and again, thanks for listening.
Yep. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.
Uncool Show out.